Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, good morning, and this is a beautiful Monday that the Lord has made. We are today discussing about addressing the childhood trauma in Uganda, and today's conversation we are joined by the two guests from the Trauma Information Care Center, Uganda. This is a new NGO which is ongoing, and the founder is Mrs. Ritah Nandera, and of course Mr. Edward Muhwezi, the social worker, who are going to give us more of the information when it comes to the trauma happening in the lives of people, and why did they decide to start up this organization. What is the objective and the vision of this Trauma Information Care Center that is already in existence? It's a good pleasure to see you, Mrs. Nandera. Good morning.
Good morning, Rita.
How is your morning today?
It's very fine.
Interesting.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Edward.
Good morning to you.
It's a good pleasure to have you in this program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. So instead, tell us more about the Trauma Information Care Center. What is it all about, actually?
Trauma, actually it is called Wakiso.
Wakiso.
Trauma Information Care Center.
Okay.
And we abbreviate it as WATIC.
WATIC.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a foundation that I myself I came up with to address the causes and the impact of childhood trauma in our communities.
Yeah.
Actually, not only in our communities, but worldwide at large.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Interesting. So, what was the picture behind it?
The picture behind it, actually, if first of all we talk of trauma, I myself, it's difficult to describe it, but you can describe it actually through experience.
Experience, that's true. Yes.
But
yes.
if a person has never experienced trauma,
you can't understand.
it's hardly to understand it. So I, a victim of it, and I found it as a distressing experience that actually can have a profound impact on well-being of someone, psychologically, emotionally, and even physically.
Yeah.
So personally, I had trauma for many years, and I didn't know before, not until I was told by experts in that field. Yeah, I got an accident in 1999.
How old were you?
I was 17 years.
17 years.
In senior 3.
Okay.
Yes, it was a distressing one because my colleagues whom I had, they had died. So after some years, eventually I started getting sick, not knowing what was disturbing me. I would go in the hospital and they find out that actually I don't have any sickness. Not until I was identified by a specialist in that field that actually there's some events that could have happened to you and they lead you to be in this situation. And that's when he started asking me what I went through in my life. There could be other factors that might have caused it, but the main one was that accident. Yes.
So for how long had it been in your life? For how many years had it been? And when you realized that, what did you do?
When I realized that, when I found out that actually I have trauma psychologically, I started the therapy and counseling. To
the treatment, or it was just to so that they calm
the situation.
Yes.
It was treatment as well, and counseling and informing me that actually this is it, not what you think that you are suffering from. And that's when I started seeing, when I was in that rehab, I found out actually many people, and that's what came into my mind. You mean this is what has been happening in the community, and the children were many. Yes, I tried to find out why many children are being traumatized. And I found out that actually the main cause, it was domestic violence.
Yes, great. Yeah, it's domestic violence to be one of the most important, one of the most identified thing. Maybe before we get into that conversation, let me first get into Mr. Edward. You are a social worker in this NGO. First, tell us about it from your perspective, and why did you decide to join it initially?
Okay, thank you. As Madam Grania explained, childhood trauma is a serious problem in Uganda. And we have to work together as all stakeholders to address this problem, because it's not just a personal problem, but it's a public health issue.
That's right.
Whereby everyone should be involved. And it has a long-term impact on health and even in the economy. Yes.
Quite interesting. So what is your position in this?
Yeah, I'm a social worker, and at WATIC, we have a model that we use. Now, to take you further, we came up with a model called AHEAD, and AHEAD stands for awareness, healing, empowerment, alternatives, and drug use. So awareness, we create awareness on childhood trauma, especially targeting teachers and parents. Because teachers spend most of the time with our children, but do they know how to identify children struggling with trauma? So we are trying to capacitate the teachers to identify, but not only to identify, but offer support and refer those that need counseling and therapy. And for parents, we are teaching them parenting skills to ensure that they know how to handle their children. Because we find most of the time parents shouting at their kids, giving them heavy punishments, which really are counterproductive. And then we have the empowerment aspect. So the healing, because when a child is already struggling with trauma, you find that some of them are at a stage where they need therapy. So they have to be helped by a therapist. So we have a therapist who offers therapy at our center, and she uses cognitive behavioral therapy to help those who are traumatized. But there are those who just need counseling. So other staff can handle. And even the teacher themselves, after capacitating the teacher themselves, they can be able to offer help, and even the parents, including the older adults. And then we have the empowerment aspect. Because we have to look at the causes, what are the causes that we are going to delve deeper into that. But the empowerment, we talked about parenting skills. But what about the abject poverty? There are those households that are really struggling seriously, whereby you find a person living below $1 a day. Now, for that, we also have a scheme, and it's for only women, whereby these women we are training them to build businesses. Those who haven't started, to help them start a business, but those who are already running businesses, we help them to enhance, because they are going to invest this money in their homes, just to ensure that at least the household is okay in terms of finances. So that's the empowerment aspect. Then we have the alternatives. We are looking at, because the parents mostly, how do you handle your children at home? And you know the best way of handling your children. So now if you've been used to shouting at them, giving them serious punishments, which are so heavy, we are showing you alternatives on how to really handle your children, to create a safe environment. We are trying to create a safe environment, both at home and school, but also not forgetting the entire community. So A is for alternatives, looking at alternative ways of really disciplining children, because when we talk of disciplining in African context, normally we think about beating, which really doesn't work.
That's our number one key thing of the Africans.
Exactly. So that's what we are trying to really alleviate.
Yes.
How do you discipline your child in a positive manner? How do you create that safe environment whereby a child will talk to you, will not look at you and like some fathers, when they come home, you find a child running away. Now, we want to create an environment whereby when a father comes back home, the child will come and embrace him. That's the kind of environment we want to create. We want to create that environment whereby a child is your friend. You're a parent and a friend at the same time. So those are the alternatives we are talking about. And then we have the problem of drugs. As we are going to delve deeper into this, you find that when children are struggling with childhood trauma, some of them engage in drug use as a form of self-medication. Yes. So we cannot really ignore that. We are also tackling drug use. In schools, we are teaching teachers on how to identify children who have not, who are still, like, because drug use is in stages, at any stage, but mostly we are looking at prevention. We don't want our children to engage in drug use, but those who have already started, there is counseling and of course there is therapy. So we are handling the drug use. So we are looking, basically, this is a holistic approach whereby we are looking at prevention, we are looking at healing at the same time, and actually focus much on the adults. Sometimes we think the children are the ones to change. We need to change the children, but you find that we need to change the adults.
Yes, that's true.
Actually, at Watik, we are focusing much on adults. We are helping children, but focusing much on adults, because when we create safe environment at school and in our homes, automatically the beneficiaries will be our children. That's how we can help them indirectly.
Interesting.
But not forgetting the children themselves who are already struggling with the issues of trauma.
That's quite interesting. It's interesting and so formative. Maybe if Madam Arinda, tell us so far the statistics. How many people have you reached out to? All the things you have told us. Do you have victims at your place, and then you all who are around being taken care of, or you go to the specific places where you have identified? How is it done?
Actually, we have been visiting places where we have identified, especially schools. Especially schools. We have visited schools so far, and we have interacted with caregivers. We have interacted with teachers and the matrons who are taking care of the kids to identify and see how can they understand that this child actually is going through trauma. We have tried to address it, and we have tried, basically, we have been raising awareness to the communities. But at the moment, we have dealt with schools
Initially.
And unless if a person identifies us and calls us and want to come to our community. That's what we've been doing.
Maybe from your perspective of the story you've given us a brief of it, you can give us a picture. How were you able to identify, since you didn't know that you had this trauma disturbing you? For a person who has it, how can you be able to know? What are the signs? How do they behave? How are they relating in the society with people? How do you identify that?
Actually, through experience, Mike can identify that actually this person is going through trauma. But if a person has never experienced, maybe if he's a specialist, a psychiatric or a psychologist, those specialists in that field, they are the ones who can identify you. But me, through experience, I can know that this child is going through this, or this person is going through this. Me, actually, after accident, it did not manifest immediately. It is after years. After years that I started experiencing some health issues, like panic attacks, anxiety disorders. the experience I went through. And actually I didn't know that this is because of trauma of the accident. But as time went on, visiting so many psychiatrists, visiting so many counselors, they were able to identify me. And I've been going through the healing process.
Yes. When you talk about the healing process still, and maybe you have reached out to schools, and how were you able to know that these children really are going through this?
You can tell because you will see how the child is behaving. The child can want to be lonely most of the time. Maybe is more stubborn in class. And for you may want to punish that, maybe is have bad manners, but when actually is going through a lot. So we have been talking to caregivers, addressing this problem and how they can go about it. We have been empowering them with skills on how to identify such children. There's a school we visited. I will not mention it here. And the headmaster told us about a boy. I think he provided something to them. And he talked to them nicely, and the boy was surprised, saying, "You mean this happens? I've never seen this headmaster." And from that day, he started bonding with him. Then the headmaster went ahead asking him many questions, and the boy was able to share what the father does at home. Yes. So out of equipping them with such skills, now that headmaster can know that actually this child is going through this. Yes.
Interesting. Something, Mr. Edward, what is your comment about that?
Well, let's go deeper into this. Let's start with the school and the performance. A child has been performing very well, and all of a sudden the performance drops. That's a sign. And in this case, you find a teacher asking this student that, what's wrong with you? But the question should be, what is happening to you? So there must be a reason.
Yes, great.
That's what we are training teachers to do. When that happens, don't ask what's wrong with you, ask what is happening to you. This child will tell you what is really happening, why the performance is dropping. Aggression, we have children who are aggressive. That's a sign. And actually, we have these students who are too compliant, and we use them as examples, as role models, that be like Juliet, very compliant in everything. Also, that's a sign. Being compliant is okay, and we promote that, but extreme compliance is also a sign. So that is about it. And also, even the physical appearance. Let's talk about sleeping in a classroom. You see a child dozing all the time. They are complaining about headache. They are complaining about stomach ache. All those are signs. Those are physical signs. They don't want to participate in co-curricular activities. That's a sign. They don't want to associate. They want to isolate themselves. They are quiet all the time. That's a sign. So you can really tell that this student is really different from the rest. You can tell. Back at home, the same thing. You can tell that there is a problem. You find that a child has been a fan of a certain sport, but they no longer want to participate again.
Interesting.
Exactly. So you can really tell, if you are observant, you can tell that there is something happening to my child, because we have not yet explained childhood trauma. What do we mean when we say childhood trauma? We mean adverse childhood experiences that are so distressing, that are beyond the ability of these children to cope. Because our children, this is what science tells us, that their brain is still young, it's still developing. So anything that is so distressing, that is beyond their capacity to cope, it rewires their brain. Actually, this is the sense I would like our viewers to understand, that trauma rewires the brain. If the brain is supposed to grow into the positive side, it rewires the brain to the negative side. That's why it has long-term effects. And what do we mean here? Let's give real examples. Abandonment,
Yes.
neglect,
Yes.
violence. Both the violence they have experienced and the violence they have witnessed. We've heard about parents who kill each other,
Yes.
and the child is watching.
Yes. Yes.
This is too much on a child. This will remain on their brain. They will start getting nightmares. They will see all adults as people who are not to be approached. They will start fearing adults.
Yes,
That
true.
fear will remain. So it's long term. And now we have now a new problem in the world, not only Uganda, called father absenteeism. And here we mean the physical absence of a father in a home. And the emotion, you can be physically present, but emotionally absent. And also the financial. You can be physically present, emotionally present, but financially absent. So father absenteeism is becoming a serious problem. And what happens to these children who grow up in families without fathers, research shows that they end up becoming drug users, others end up in prison. That's what research shows. Now, these are the children who are growing up in these families where fathers are absent. And these effects are rewiring their brain. And when they grow up, what happens? Also, they will be like their fathers, because their home is like a school. You are learning from the adults around you. So if your father has been violent, you are also going to be violent. You are not going to sustain a relationship. That's why actual relationships are breaking seriously, because we see what is happening right now. We don't know where it emanated from. So the problem starts from childhood, then it persists because you have not sought help. It persists. You grow up with it, and what happens is there is what we call intergenerational trauma. You are going to pass it on to your children. So it's a cycle. It's a serious problem. A person who is viewing will say, maybe I haven't witnessed that, but it's a problem for all of us, and we have to work together as a country to address it. The mental health aspect, we are talking about the anxiety, we are talking about depression, and then the heart attack. Why are people dying of heart attacks nowadays? That's trauma, starting from early childhood. You grew up with it. It eats you slowly until at a certain age you collapse because of that problem. You will die of heart attack. So it affects the brain, it affects our physical health, it is affecting our families, our communities, relationships, everything. So it's a serious problem whereby everyone should really work together with all organizations and stakeholders addressing this problem to ensure that we really combat it.
Great. I think this conversation will be continuing after the quick commercial break. We are talking about addressing issues of trauma in the children in our country, Uganda, of course. Even the adults are the victim to this cause. Let's come back after the break.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, and welcome back for the quick commercial break. Our topic for discussion, we are looking into the causes, the impact and the interventions when we talk about trauma in the people, not only children, but adults, older persons, and so many others who are the victims of trauma. And right about now, we want to look at some of the main causes. We have talked about domestic violence, being one of the main causes also of trauma among the children. But of course, we also look at the sexual abuse. I think this isn't seen, and most especially the girls being victims to this cause. I'll start with Madam Rinda. What is your take point about that?
Yeah, it's, as you have said, there are so many causes of trauma. As you have said, rape, not only that they rape girls, even boys are being raped. And according to experience in the rehab where I was, I found so many children that have been pregnanted at an early age. There have been, of course, you know, the rape process is not an easy one. There's strangling her, and such a child is traumatized. But also another cause of, as we have talked of, accident, rape, domestic violence, but also wars. You have seen people in the communities of displaced camps. Those children, they are not only children who have witnessed wars, they are also being disturbed by trauma. Also, of recent, we found out that poverty it is causing trauma among, because if a child finds out there is no school fees for him or her, and others have gone to school but the parents, they are unable to facilitate her, to facilitate him, and is staying home when others have gone, you find that child is also traumatized psychologically. It's not okay. Mainly, that's what I can talk about, the causes of trauma. And it has big impact in the health, especially psychologically, but even physically and emotionally. Because going through that process of emotions, negative emotions, going out through to seek healing, it's also a process. It's not an easy process. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Edward, elaborate more about it when it comes to the sexual abuse, most especially these young children, the young girls and the young boys, whom I'm hearing also they can be raped and too. How does that come about initially?
Sexual abuse is a serious problem. It's one of the causes of childhood trauma. And it's a serious one in a way that in some families you find that it's an uncle who is sexually harassing this child. The child is aware that this is my uncle and doesn't know where to run to mom, dad, and is scared of where to run to because this is a relative. So now this child will just suffer in silence. There is a research, government did a research and published a report in 2018, and it showed that 3 out of 4 children in Uganda have experienced some form of violence. 3 out of 4, so that's 90-something plus percent. And it also shows the violence, the sexual violence for girls. It is very high, so it's a serious problem. And as parents, how do you identify that my child is really struggling with this problem? It takes us back to where we came from. a child is detached. A child is complaining of physical complications like the headache, the stomach ache. A child doesn't sleep. A child doesn't want to engage in co-curricular activities. Doesn't want to, is isolated from the rest of the children. So try to find out as a parent why this child behaving this way. The same applies to teachers. You can identify this child. So, in summary, you can say that sexual violence is one of the major causes of childhood trauma. In others, as she said, the poverty, then the violence, this domestic violence. And domestic violence, we said before that it's experiencing it, again witnessing. Let's go back to the community now.
Yes.
This mob justice, you arrest a thief and you start, mob justice. But we have children around who are really witnessing this happening. This also remains on their brain. So the causes are so many, but interventions, the stakeholders who are working on this are very few. Government is doing its part. We have Utabika, it offers mental health services. And there is that negative also connotation, because when we talk of Utabika, there is a way people feel. And I would like to tell, I'm not a spokesperson for Utabika, but for me as a service provider that has worked with Utabika, it's a hospital for everyone. If you have a child or you yourself, you have issues with your mental health, please go to Utabika, you will get helped.
I think that's how that name sounds to the ears of people. They hear Utabika. Oh, they think as if it's something which is kind of...
Exactly. But it's a referral hospital like any other, and this is the hospital where we refer clients.
For sick people, not actually mad people.
And now that's the problem now. I'm trying to say, to the ears of some Ugandans, they think that's why people who are mad that take it to that place.
Actually, in social work, there's nothing like madness. It's a mental health illness. Actually, that's what we call schizophrenia, and it's treatable. So people should go to Utabika for help. Madness is not
sorted in well.
No, not at all. It's a mental illness. So government is really doing its part, but also us as stakeholders, the parents, the caregivers, the teachers, community members, the media. So we are creating awareness. We are partnering with the media. We are partnering with the schools. Actually, that is what we are refocusing on, awareness, for people to know that this is a serious problem. But again, after that, what next? Now let's talk about the solutions. Counseling and therapy. So when a child is at that stage where they need therapy, services are available. Come to Watik, you're going to get services. And for cases that we cannot handle, we'll refer because we have other partners. For those struggling with drug use, addiction, still we refer to rehabs. We don't have a rehab center now. Of course, that is one of our plans to have our own rehab center, but we also refer. So we handle cases that we can manage, and others will refer. But the biggest problem is keeping quiet about the problem. And I cannot fail to talk about the people with disabilities. These are the people that suffer most. Because when a child is born with a disability in a home, normally the parents hide them.
Yes.
They hide. And when they are in hiding, that's where the sexual violence happens, and the child cannot share with anyone because they are just, confined in a small space. So people with disabilities are really struggling in this country with different issues, including this childhood trauma. So organizations working on issues of people with disabilities, this is an issue you also need to look into, the childhood trauma aspect and other stakeholders. So I would like to tell Ugandans that this is a public health issue. It's not just a personal challenge. So when we identify a person struggling, according to the signs and we talked about, please, even if you are just a community member, reach out. Come to our offices. We are going to give you telephone numbers where you can reach us at. and we will offer help. And for schools, invite us. We are going to come and talk to your teachers. That's what we are doing. We are available to come and capacitate your teachers. And also for parents, come to us. We also have online services. So for those people who are very far, don't complain about the distance, the transport, because it is reach us via our phones, our WhatsApp, our social media handles. We are going to give you social media handles so we can help. So distance is not a problem here. Also these services can be offered through online.
I think you can share with them the details. Share with them the details.
Madam Gwanya will talk about the telephone number first.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, we are located at Victor House. It's along Bahai Chebando. If you are at Kampala Quality Primary School, that building is in that junction called Victor House. We are on the 4th floor. And the telephone number at the moment you can use, it is 0752 88 2205. Then we have a WhatsApp one. It is 077 777 0185. You can call us, you can reach us through email. We are at Watik,
Uganda.
Uganda. Also, we are on social Facebook. In Facebook, if you find the Wakiso Trauma Information Care Center, you'll find us there, and our services are there.
All right. Yes.
So the email is Watik. It's WATICC Uganda @gmail.com. And we also have social media handles the same, Watik Uganda. You can reach us via social media through Facebook, and we are going to respond. And also TikTok.
Yeah, we are using Watik. It is WATICC. Yes.
Okay, generally, as we came into in all this we have discussed, and also so many information we will have to discuss in the coming time. Should we say that trauma can be dealt away with? In what process? How long does it take? And how is the response from the people who are victims to this? What challenges have you encountered when dealing with these people? I think we can start from there, then she will finish up with it.
Okay, thank you. Trauma is not a disease. Trauma per se is not a disease. It's a reaction towards that event, and people react differently. Not everyone who is exposed to such adverse experiences will end up getting childhood trauma. Some are resilient, they will not. But some will of course be affected. So, but those who are affected, healing is not a one-day event, it's a process. One, the supportive network around this person, the home environment. Let me give an example of people who use drugs. This is a person who has been struggling with trauma and has now started engaging in drugs. How do you treat that family member who is struggling with drugs?
Yes.
In most cases, we stigmatize, we isolate, we don't offer any help as family. But this is a person who needs help. So now the home environment should be supportive enough for this person who is now. That support you get from your home, from the people around you, will speed up the healing process. But where there is no support, healing takes time. But ultimately, people heal. That's what I can say, that people should really seek help. They will be supported. Healing is a process, but at the end of the day, they will get better.
Get better.
Yes.
And the challenges have you counted from the response from these victims?
Of course, now it goes back to the home environment. The support of the family members. If the person is struggling alone, or the poverty, as Madam Grania explained, someone wants to really help, but poverty is becoming a problem. Yes. So now that's why we also look into the economic empowerment aspect, because a person really wants help, but they are really struggling with even the basic necessities of life. So yes, it's a process. They get better, but of course it depends on other circumstances. Yes, but ultimately people get better with those challenges. We try to see how to navigate the challenges. Yes, poverty is there, but how do we navigate, how do we combat this problem, even with the current situation? So we will not just be silent because poverty is really killing us. No, we are going to really use the available resources, but mostly love.
Yes, yes.
Love. When we were still in primary, we were taught the 4 basic needs: the food, water, clothing, and housing. And I would like to tell you Ugandans that one important aspect was forgotten, that is love. Love is a basic need.
Great.
Yes, love is a basic need. So, can we have love and real love in our home, even as teachers? Can you have that real love for the people, for the students you teach? And I will not forget about prayer. Prayer works. Families, try to prioritize prayer. Pray for your children as a parent. Pray together as a family. Don't ignore prayer in whatever you're doing. Prayer heals.
Interesting. One question before I get to Madam Arinde. The therapy, haven't you ever gotten a shortage of it, or what do you always get the therapist from? In Uganda, do we have them which are more than enough to see that you treat this illness, the victims?
I beg your pardon?
The therapy that you give these victims with this. Have you ever reached that a point that you get a shortage of it, or it's always enough? It's availability, yes. Have you ever encountered some challenges that today is not enough, and you transfer these people to other places? Exactly.
Because there are different types of therapy. So when you are an expert in CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, you may find that after doing assessment, this person needs a different type of therapy that you are not really familiar with. Because at that level, you specialize in certain types of therapy. So of course you have to refer. And at that level, you have to work with other stakeholders. You cannot work alone. So therapists, counselors always work with other stakeholders. But there is also another point I should also talk about, the self-care. As we are helping people struggling with childhood trauma, and we should not forget about ourselves. Let me start with the teachers, the self-care. Go to gym and do exercise. Have enough sleep. Take care of your own health. The same applies to parents and other community members. So as you are helping, also you are getting effects indirectly. Actually, counselors, this is common with counselors. So when you are helping someone, because of the story they are telling you, because of the whole experience, at the end of the day, you are going to get some effect. You also need a counselor to help you offload. So that's why you cannot work alone. Yes.
Thank you so much. It's Madam Maria. In just 3 minutes, what is your summary about this, your last remarks?
Okay. Me, the vision I have at the moment, I want to see a society that is free from childhood trauma through addressing the problem, through identifying, by empowering and raise awareness in the communities about trauma. Yes.
Interesting. So that's all you can give them?
Yes.
Great. Anything else?
Yes. We are prioritizing awareness, and we partner with media companies to ensure that this message reaches every corner of the country. And these programs need sponsorship. So if you're out there and you can sponsor a program like this, please reach out. We need sponsors for this program. And for schools, invite us. We are going to come and capacitate your teachers. And those who are following our social media handles, please comment. Also, contribute towards the discussion. Let us all participate in this, because with concerted efforts, that's how we are going to combat childhood trauma in Uganda.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for coming and sharing with us this important information. I believe we need to continue making awareness, as you have said, for the public. to be part of this. To remind you, we have been live on the YouTube channel as Church of Uganda Family TV. This program, whatever you have missed, you can be able to go back and make a recap, throw in your comment, be able to partner with WATIC to be able to support the initiative of combating trauma among Ugandans. The adults, I told you, the young children, the elderly persons, they are victims to this. Even you who is watching this program, you can be a victim to this and you do not know. So be partnerships with these people to ensure that your lives become more healthier and healthier. Love yourselves, be happy always, and don't forget prayer, that prayer works above all things that you can be able to do. My name is Ritah. Allow me to wish you a blessed Monday. Meet tomorrow the same time, the same day, only on Church of Uganda Family TV. Enjoy yourself with a cup of coffee as you enter the brand new day with the blessings. Bye-bye.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV.